Hi everyone, Vladimir is here, and today I wanted to do not so short review of the game Warhammer 40k Space Wolf. So first, two disclaimers. I got the key for free and the game is still in early access, meaning some things are going to change. So first, Warhammer 40k Space Wolf is a card-driven turn-based tactical game with RPG elements. The game enters in early access today, and at this point it is fair to say that while the premise sounds really cool, the execution so far is somewhat questionable. The graphics and effects are fine, it's the mission gameplay that I have problem with. So first, the game is fun to play. The action taking time is a good approach. You can make two long actions, resulting in a turn that will have a big impact and allow the enemy move before you after that, or you can do a short one, take a break and then attack again before the enemy gets a chance to have his turn. So the graphics are well polished, there are plenty of cards and content to diversify your playing experience. And also, well, it's Warhammer 40k universe, which is pretty badass in itself. I've also tried multiplayer, which is actually pretty good. Having said that, I'm going to get to the bad sides of the game. Right now, the deck building UI is clumsy and unintuitive, but yet the early access roadmap is promising to tune it. You cannot turn your character without moving, which is, I think, essential for the gameplay in the tactical games. Some enemy units can attack you with melee attacks diagonally, but your melee attacks can only go in front, which feels a bit unfair. The game is very difficult, and I mean single player. Not sure if this is intentional, because in missions, enemies just keep spawning when you step on certain areas, meaning you can go around the enemy sometimes without spawning new at once. Needless to say, this prevents flanking. The difficulty by itself did not bother me much, but this unpredictability of the enemy spawns is somewhat killing it. The game feels too reliant on random right now. 70 or 80% hit rate makes you feel screwed by the game quite often. If you are lucky to dodge enemy attacks, great, but if you shoot 3 times in a row and miss, it stops being cool. Obstacles don't do much, and you do not seem to impact the shooting. You can't hide behind the obstacles, XCOM style, to reduce the enemy chance of hitting you. Not surprisingly, I'm going to do some more XCOM comparisons. I'm going to talk about single player right now because multiplayer does not have these issues, except for the random factor. Right now, the issue with the game is not the content. Personally, I did not enjoy the single player game due to unpredictability. The enemies just spawn in too big numbers in pre-scripted manner. XCOM, for example, avoids it by showing fog of war. That way, you can scroll around the map and at least try to take into account that an enemy can be hiding somewhere. But in this case, the map is wide open and shown, but the enemies simply appear in front of you as you step forward. In the missions, if you try to go too far, I mean to flank the enemies, more often, more enemies are going to spawn just in front of you. In my opinion, this planning aspect is very important for turn-based games, and it's somewhat disappointing to see it lacking here. Nevertheless, despite its flaws, I think the game really has potential. I cannot recommend the single player experience right now, but the multiplayer is really engaging, and I think the combat system is actually good. The mission unpredictability, with this enemy spawning after you reach certain points, and too much random factor in shooting, and no way to affect it effectively, hit the game in a bad way though. So I'd say buy it if you really are into tactical games, or you like multiplayer, or enjoy Warhammer 40k universe. Otherwise, I recommend waiting until early access is finished and the game is fully released. Thank you for watching. If you want to see more reviews, check out shortgamereviews.com or join our stream group, link below. Thank you for watching. Vladimir is out. Bye.